In today's video, I want to talk to roofers who are running Google Ads or have been trying to run Google Ads and have found that their lead costs are feeling ridiculously expensive. Either maybe your lead costs have always been expensive, maybe the costs have been pushing up over time, or maybe you haven't been able to get Google Ads to work at all. And when this is the case, the assumption becomes that Google Ads just doesn't work. But for most businesses or most roofing companies, it's not that Google Ads doesn't work, it's a setup problem with your Google Ads. And when the setup is wrong, Google Ads gets very expensive very quickly for roofers. In this video, I'm going to go through the 4 main reasons Google Ads is expensive and what you can do about that to bring your cost per lead down. Before we actually get into the nuts and bolts of the cost per lead and bring that down, let's just talk about the reality of running Google Ads in the roofing industry. First of all, you're selling a high ticket item, 15 to 50K for a roofing job, probably a lot more for a commercial job. You've got a lot of high competition. So those two things combined alone mean the clicks are going to be expensive. Generally, they're running $20 to $60 a click. And if you're making mistakes with your Google Ads account, if it's not set up correctly, these mistakes are going to be very costly very quickly. But just because you've got high cost per click doesn't mean that the leads are going to be expensive and not profitable. If your account is set up correctly, then we can get an excellent return on your investment when it comes to running Google Ads. Now let's jump into the 4 common problems as to why you're seeing expensive leads for roofing ads. First problem and the biggest mistake is your landing page. You might be sending traffic to your homepage, and generally a homepage is going to have a lot of clutter on it. It's going to have multiple options, and it's just not suitable for sending Google Ads traffic to. You want to be sending it to a specific service page with a clear headline, a call button, and a quote form. And this is an example layout of what you might do for your landing page. First of all, in the navigation at the top, we want to take away most of the options. We're going to have some basic links like contact, about, services, and we're going to have phone number up here rather than a get started button. But all of these links, we want them just to keep on this same page, and we don't want to be scrolling to other pages. The next thing we want to do is we're going to have a clear benefit-driven headline with the keywords for your ads in here, so customers know they're in the right place. And we also want to have a image, preferably of a happy looking customer. And one thing I usually like to do is have a contact form right on the page here. So we want phone number big there, contact form. That'll make it much easier for people to see you. Next thing we want to do, we want to talk about some of the client problems, some of the problems that you help solve from their point of view, not from yours. Next, we can have a little bit of information about ourselves with some testimonials, maybe some Google reviews, that sort of thing. After that, we want to have a simple plan on how your service works, what they need to do to get started. We just want to make it look really easy for them. That's the basics of having a high converting landing page. And if you're not already running a high converting landing page for your roofing ads, doing this alone is really going to push up the amount of responses you get and bring down that cost per lead greatly. Problem number 2 is your keywords. Let's start with the bad ones first. First of all, most people make the mistake of putting really generic keywords like roof, roofing, roof tiles, that sort of thing. And the reason those sort of keywords are bad is because Google's going to interpret that as to anything to do with a roof. And if you've got roof in there, it could mean DIY roof repairs, roof jobs, roofing tools, roofing qualifications, materials, all that sort of thing. It's going to bring up a whole bunch of irrelevant searches. What you want to do instead is you want to focus on keywords like roof repair near me, roof leak, something specific, or roof replacement, and your location. By being really specific in your keywords, that is going to increase the search intent, meaning that these people are actually searching for what you offer. And doing that will bring your cost per lead down. Next thing you want to do when it comes to keywords is if you're running broad match keywords, you want to be using negative keywords. And negative keywords might include things like DIY, jobs, tools, qualifications, and this will block your ads for showing for any of these things that just aren't relevant to what you're selling. Getting the basics like your keywords right, again, it's going to make a big difference to how many people you actually convert and bring that cost per lead down. Just a quick interruption, and then we'll get back to the content in a second. If you're running Google Ads and you have found that your leads are expensive or Google Ads is expensive, the first thing you're going to want to do is figure out exactly where the waste is. That's why I created the Google Ads Wastefinder checklist. It covers everything I cover when I'm looking at why accounts are running expensive, why lead costs are too high, including your tracking, landing pages, and other expensive leaks. It's completely free and it will quickly help you find out where you're wasting money in your Google Ads account. You can download it from the link below. Problem number 3 is your targeting, and for that we're going to jump into the Google Ads console. First thing you want to do is go into your campaign settings and we're going to check the networks. We want to make sure that we switch include Google search partners off and that display network is turned off. Having those two things on alone is going to run up the cost per lead and decrease the quality of the leads that you get. Next, come down to locations. We want to come down to location options here, and we want to make sure this one is selected presence people in or regularly in your included locations. That will mean your ads will only show for people actually inside your location rather than people that are outside. If you have this option selected, that means people from other countries could even be having your ads shown. Next, we want to check where your ads are actually showing. So we're going to enter another location and we're going to come down to advanced search. First mistake I see when it comes to the location targeting is targeting either the whole world or your whole country or even your whole state. If you're only servicing a small city or town or a few suburbs, then we want to make sure that we keep our targeting in those areas only. So if we come down here, you'll see that I've targeted only part of the city and I've excluded some areas as well because they don't fit what we're trying to target. If you're having trouble with this and if your leads are expensive, you may want to start by targeting half the city if you're in a big city like Sydney or LA or somewhere like that, or you may only want to target a few areas within your city to begin with. As your campaigns get profitable, then you can expand those areas. This is especially good if you're running ads on a small budget. Problem number 4, and another big lever as to why your ads are expensive, why your leads are expensive, I should say, is running your ads at the wrong times of day. When you run your ads, you want to make sure you're running them at times that customers are actually going to convert, customers are going to call you, and that you can actually answer the phone. The worst times of day generally are going to be between 9 p.m. and 7 a.m. during that nighttime period. This is only good if you run some sort of an emergency service. So it might be emergency roofing leak repair, for example, in which case you might want to run your ads during the evening. But for most roofers, you're going to want to run your ads during the daytime, which is when most people are going to be contacting you. Having them start at 7 a.m. gives people a chance to call you before they get to work, and running them till 9 p.m. also gives them a chance to contact you or get in touch when they're doing a little bit of research after work as well. By running an ad schedule like this is going to bring down that cost per lead and it's going to increase the quality of the lead that you get as well. So just as a recap, to lower your cost per lead as a roofer, you want to make sure that you're sending your traffic to a service-specific landing page and not your home page. Make sure you get those keywords right and use specific keywords like roof replacement and your location, roof replacement Sydney, for example. Your targeting, you're going to want to make sure that you put in your actual area that you're servicing and you exclude areas that you're not servicing. And for your ad schedule, like we just talked about, make sure you're running your ads during the day with a little bit of time in the morning and the evening, and you're not running your ads at night. And if you can do this, this is going to really push down that cost per lead for you, and you're going to have some profitable Google ads running. Before you go, if your Google ads are bringing in clicks, but they're not consistently turning into good paying jobs or your leads seem expensive, I've put together this free Google Ads Wastefinder checklist. It'll show you exactly where your budget is leaking and why you might be attracting the wrong kind of leads, unprofitable leads. The link's in the description below, and if you'd like help from a professional, you can book a call with me and we can fix broken campaigns and get them converting and profitable again, or we can set up new campaigns for you. Again, the link's in the description below. Cheers.